What is going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are looking after each other. And in today's video, we have a lot to get through. We're going to look at gaming sector. We're going to look at other things. And we're also going to look at, in particular, the dynamic of the global macroeconomics. How, if Trump fires Jay Powell, what the ramifications are likely to be. So we're going to take a look at that, of course, and we're going to get a response from President Xi of China into all of this crazy thing. So smash a like, welcome back to the channel, and let's effing go, guys, because this is going to be a fantastic show here. And before I start, I mean, let's go to the... Let's find out about Trump's Powell dynamic here.
We've talked a lot about what the markets might do if Jay Powell were fired. How would it work out? What would the president try to do? The Federal Reserve Act says, of course, and you've heard this a number of times, that the Fed governors can't be fired except for cause. The Federal Reserve Act says each member holds a term of office for 14 years unless sooner removed for cause by the president. Now, what does for cause mean? That's going to be the key here. It's undefined. Historically, courts have construed it as misconduct, incompetence, or incapacity, but it's never been litigated in terms of the Fed. The Supreme Court now considering those two cases with the National Labor Relations Board and the Merit Systems Protection Board about whether the leaders of those could be fired. There are some similarities, and if that is the case, and we don't know when it's going to actually go before the court, then maybe there's grounds for the president to be able to try to move. If not, then here's the timeline. As Board of Governor chair, Jay Powell's term expires in May of 2026. Getting interviews going this fall, as we've been told, is the likely process. I mean, it's what you would expect. As a Fed governor, though, Jay Powell can stay on till January of 2028. Would he do that? Michael Barr decided to stay on after he resigned as a vice chair for supervision. And then as FOMC chair, the policy-making committee, that's every year. They pick a new chairman, and they always, by tradition, pick the chairman of the Fed. If the president puts somebody else in, then the members of the Open Market Committee could still pick Jay Powell. You don't have to be on the Fed to be chairman of the Open Market Committee. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but the question is, do they all come together enough that the president could get rid of Jay Powell without setting off a market tsunami?
Absolutely. So that's on the Fed side of things. Now, on a macroeconomic level, the dollar is heavily involved here, guys. Check this out.
The thing about reserve currencies is part of what makes them safe is that everyone else thinks they're safe. You have I think a financial crisis in transition, and then you end up in a not a world where you can't park your assets anywhere, but a less secure and stable one.
Henry, for all of the upheaval of the past couple of weeks, the on-again, off-again tariffs and so on, that's not the only thing that's troubled you in this time.
No, the tariffs aren't the only thing. It's also the financial market reaction, which seems to be beyond a stock market sell-off. It looks like a generalized turn away from American assets by investors, which could, perhaps if it continues and gets worse, result in a threat to the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency, which is the status on which the global financial system is built and on which a lot of the global economy relies.
What's happening now that's giving you that fear?
Since President Trump announced the so-called reciprocal tariffs at the start of April, there have been big falls in equity markets. Everyone knows about that. The more alarming signal that's happened is this simultaneous sell-off in bonds and in the dollar. So normally what happens when bond yields go up is that the dollar goes up too, because investors can get more by buying the dollar and holding those bonds. When your bond yields go up but the dollar goes down, it means that there's this generalized sell-off, a flight from those assets, which suggests investors a financial crisis in
Right. So a lot of that, if you really pay attention to the fear of these macro economists, I mean, we are seeing a kind of, Kaspa is absolutely, 8%. That's very good. Of course, Altcoin doesn't really, gives a middle finger to the stock market and also anything else in crypto. But above all, you're seeing, there's very few that kept their gains overnight, right? Like you're seeing pretty much the market is flat. Now, a lot of these fears that the macro economists are talking about, for me, the market reversal and the sentiment into that is very, very quick. Like these things catch people off guard. You are not guaranteed in holding your, staying out of the market basically at any length, while the pain is going to be clearly there. So one sector that has been very, very painful has been gaming. If you look at gaming over here, the growth has been astronomically bad. If you look at this, and these are not all the games, so we are just looking at a few games over here. But what you can see is this had no growth. The last spike came back in 2023, early 24. And then since then, it has been on decline. Now, is crypto gaming dead? Is the question. Okay. And in my opinion, I don't think crypto gaming is dead. Having said that, crypto gaming is very seasonal. Now, we've just had an important discussion, what I thought to be a lovely discussion in the Discord. And it was based around the idea of buying a layer 1 blockchain, which is what Beam is, for example. So I have no issues with people investing in layer 1 infrastructure, privacy focused gaming platform, because that is, this has all the links into gaming crypto. So you're buying an asset that has all gaming involved. Really, that's what IMX and Beam, especially Beam, is, in my opinion. So what you can do is, to be true to the strategy, always select something that has a longevity, something that you can buy from, to DCA into as and when, and an asset you can hold for that good day when things start moving. But otherwise, like we reported yesterday, gold still absolutely ripping. We still have the Fed balance not doing anything, going a little bit sideways. Maybe this will reverse. But overall, the market is as flat as it is. Beam here having a good little recovery, but I do expect a bit of a cool off. And of course, BTC Watch will be super interesting if we can sustain this. I think we can. But, like I said, it's funny. FOMC is on the 7th of May, right? Global liquidity M2 spikes on the 7th of May. You see what's happening here. So watch out for that, because I think next month is going to be absolutely incredible. And here you can see the S&P 500 is tanking. Gold and Bitcoin are holding up, and that is all we can ask for. So what is my strategy now? I am mostly allocated, but I do have some spare cash should the market go the opposite direction. And yeah, just on a final note, of course, I would like to leave you with President Xi's final remarks about the market and situation. All right. So over to President Xi here. Let me just blow him up. This is in direct response to Trump.
We're not your little like, for real. All that big homie stuff, that's for little Little have big homies. We're not little so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Would tell me, Maze, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, we're not.
Tariffs, guys. Anyway, guys, smash a like. And my thesis when it comes to this macroeconomic stuff is, regardless, we should be very happy that we are getting some kind of some kind of volatility, because at the end of the day, if we look at the assets that we have right now, I mean, for example, there's other assets that are so small in terms of market cap. Let's have a look at this is a gaming infrastructure project by the name of Slingshot, $1 million market cap, right? At some point, these things will come back and we will go parabolic. I kid you not. I mean, this is, tokenomics is pretty bad. This is not something to kind of look at, built on Arbitrum. But we are going to get a face of irrational behavior by the market. This is why I've been telling my group to always be first to buy in good infrastructure plays. Now, this has, of course, they publish in real games already played by millions of players in the Roblox, right? My daughter is on this every single day. If you've got a child, they probably are playing Roblox. So there are things that the market can give you in terms of an opportunity. But right now, my strategy is crypto gaming is not a place for you to go and put your money, because at the moment, crypto gaming is way behind the other narratives. The two of the most important and impressive narratives have been AI and RWAs. And in RWAs in particular, Maple Finance has been absolutely skyrocketing in terms of their relative performance of active loans. So Aave is underperforming, or Maple Syrup or Syrup is actually outperforming Aave. So RWAs, I do believe, and AI are the stable along with a layer one. But hey, don't sleep on gaming projects, because I think, ultimately when it kicks off, it's going to go absolutely nuts. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Let me know what gaming projects you're holding. Let me know what RWA projects you're holding, and let me know what AI projects you're holding. God bless you. Take care.